Hey, campers, PTG, Hyper G, Lucky Sixes. We're
Hey,
Proxy Table
hey,
Gaming. Hey.
you okay?
Hey, I am. The salt has been cleared away,
From
and it is
yeah,
sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Let's go into round two for Lucky Sixes.
yeah, round two for me, and yeah, it's we come off a sort of drawish battle, match up actually. I think we in our last one we lost 39-41 or something like that. So basically, 10-10s all round.
Yeah,
And
against your fellow England
I
boys.
think it's fairly so. I mean, there was calls of fix beforehand, but after that, oh my goodness!
What?
Although
Yeah,
we should have just all just genuinely agreed it and had time to lie in. That's what we should have done, but we didn't because we were
no.
trying to fight against the calls of fix, and well, we didn't do that very well, did we? But I mean, I did chat to Hugh. I was like, just what are we going to do? We just like coin flip for who gets the big cap. But nonetheless, we are on to round two for Team England against Rods of Battle, and I am against Artem as well, which is interesting. I think on paper this is it's at least an 11 for me.
Oh right,
So
okay.
you'll say everyone does their own different predictions and things. I think probably in a confident man, I should be this is a green, so a 12 to 15 because.
Okay.
I can heal back his shooting on the most part,
Yeah.
but and there's not a lot that can really deal with my big blocks without dying in response. So,
Yeah.
But as we know, Artem's a very very good player. So I was trying to deliver and at least not get completely owned. Was my plan, which was my plan throughout the whole weekend, if I'm honest.
That's fair enough.
Sticking with the vampires, obviously, talked about in the last battle, but double Legion banner, some chaff, 3 big blocks.
I love the double Legion banner is the first thing you say about your list. The
Yeah,
two 10-point items are the first thing that springs to mind.
absolutely. It's a big block of skellies with all the characters, the court, and things. I got 14 spells and a bit of the vampire knights are just there extra. That's all they are.
Sad times. I'm not happy about that at all.
Artem, Druidism Master,
Mm.
which is fair enough with Sylvans because it just brings all those the reason those blade dancers are in is because Druidism is so good on infantry. They only get 4 back, but
They do.
healing spell. So there's that. They've got say double blade dancers, wild huntsmen, double eagles, double pathfinders, big block of archers, and the Heath Riders was an interesting one to add in because they're scoring big block of scoring cav, and forest guard as well for scoring purposes. The other reason this is probably a green matchup is because it is breakthrough. So those I've got 4 breakthrough things. He's got 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 scorers, and realistically, his archers aren't getting into my deployment zone, so I should be able to do that. But again, it's if you're both equal players. Anyway, encircle and breakthrough. As we
do you like encircle?
I don't mind it. I think generally speaking, big center is best. But as we can see from my first picture, which isn't this. Lots of again, just another mention of how good I like the venue. This was just showing some people.
I could have spent days there, honestly.
Yeah,
looking
absolutely.
through the shop.
And this was some I think Final Fantasy tournament maybe, or another one. I can't be sure, but yeah. But looking after the first, as I said about the encircle. Normally, I would say big centre is best, but he took sides and took big flanks in order so that I couldn't then just put my things into one corner and go. Despite that, I did then do that.
You deployed like I did.
I missed. He went first as well, so there was that. But the plan.
Oh, I see.
Okay,
the plan.
So this is where we'll go. So that you've seen the first picture. The plan is.
Oh my lord!
And
this is awesome.
This is the reason I did this is because I actually took a timeout in.
Yes, I remember this
in my deployment. So he dropped for first, and I went, okay, I'm going to take a time out and get my captain over and talk about tactics from the game and stuff like this. So
Okay. Yeah.
I was interested to do that to see if it could affect the game much, really. And we sort of talked, and this big impassable in the middle was obviously like huge for it. He'd put down some stuff and then went away for a drink or something. And the idea that we finalised on was to put all my big blocks this side of the thing facing his archers. So I've got 3 scoring blocks that realistically he shouldn't be able to go into, because I've got, as I said, all the combat res in the world with my skellies, and then you've got the poison from the other stuff, which should just eat through war dancers and wild huntsmen and stuff. They'll do a bunch of damage to me, but I should be able to do some back to him, and they're sort of smallish units. So there's that. So the idea was literally just to run forwards, focus all my attention on them, perhaps see if I can get some scoring or chaff as well in terms of points with my 3 big blocks and all my magic, and then everything else was to zone the rest of the stuff.
I love how you've got the big circle of the zoning, including the dogs, as though they're going to zone something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is also halfway through his shooting phase, and as you can see, he's already started on the dogs.
He has
but
indeed.
that is not at the end of his shooting and stuff. So here we go.
Okay.
This was some of the shooting and going into that.
Yeah.
And then this was the rest of his shooting, and so he polished off a unit of dogs, got a knight and 3 things just from his shooting. It's just like, it's so relentless, this shooting.
I know, and it doesn't even look like it's that shooty either.
Well, yeah, we'll go back. It's the 2 Pathfinders, which I was a bit annoyed at myself for putting my knights right opposite them, because they got all the AP stuff, and I was like, okay, but it's these Heath Hunters as well, and he's got his bow on the mage over there by the
Wiskin.
the eagle. So it's just so much stuff. It's just so much shooting, and as you say, it doesn't look like that much, but it does that much damage. And I was like, well, okay, well, I just need to basically discount the dogs, probably discount the knights. If the knights can keep everything away for 5 turns, then happy days. But realistically, I just need him to keep them away, because if the plan goes to thing, I've got all my 3 big units. I haven't lost loads. Even if I lose all of this, it's probably maybe 1,500 points worth of stuff. Maybe not even that. And I've got everything into his deployment. I've got his archers, because that's what I'm going for, and it should be a 12-ish win, maybe even 10-10 if I don't get anything else. So that's the plan. But I was like, okay, fine, stick to the plan. So I move up like so. Just my guys going straight forward. My ghouls had to take a bit so that my skeletons could actually get through, because I wanted to move my wraiths over this way, because I thought if the wraiths then magic move onto his war dancers or anything like that, they'll just do a bunch of wounds there. So and also wraiths are like 400 points, so if I can save them, that'd be great. So the champion over here on dogs goes over that way to potentially see if I can breath weapon and stuff all the way, because I then moved up. I'm out 12 inches, so there's that. But meh. Spirit Host's actually pretty decent against Heath Riders and War Dancers, because there's no magical attacks, so they'll take a little while to get through, and I just wanted the Knights to do it. But yeah, the plan is in force. I get pentagram off on these and kill 1 wild hunter, but that's just because of my plethora of magic missiles that I have.
Yeah, sure. You got plenty to choose from.
Yeah. I get Hand of Glory off on them as well, just in case his war dancers want to come into me.
Okay.
Which turned out to be more of an issue than I thought, because he actually had a flank, and I missed it completely, because, and I'll go back, this was what I'd left, and it is.
This must be the narrowest of margins. Yeah,
it is by the slightest of. I think he had one. It was like half an inch or something like that, but it was in the flank, and there's not a lot else I could do at this point. When he declared the charge, I was like, yeah, I've got Hand of Glory off, that's fine. But then he says, well, that's a flank charge, and
the game.
My head just dropped. I was so annoyed because, I mean, let's just see if anybody else can spot it from this point. Yes, at the minute, there's not many going into me, and it's going into my character, whatever. But if we go back, what he can do, and I knew this as soon as he got into my flank, is that he can reform, and he can reform first to be right over this way, and dealing with my stuff, or
because he's bringing more models into combat.
Yeah.
But then, not only if he's killed your character, right?
He still needs to kill my character.
Yeah.
And also he needs to get rid of these wraiths in
which
order
he has
to
the tools for, I guess.
But he is within an inch, and all he needs to do is get those 3.
Yeah, that's not ideal, but
yeah.
it's such margins, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, and I mean, the flank don't leave a flank charge, boys and girls. But I think, from what my point of view is, I genuinely didn't measure it because I just assumed it was in, and the impassable sort of made me think that it was fine.
A similar thing to how I had with the UD and the flank.
A little bit, yeah.
Maybe just give up your sight when there's something in the way.
I didn't properly measure it, because once we did measure it, it was definitely in the flank, and I was just like, this is just that just sucks, because my whole game plan is gone, and there's so many points in that unit, and now Breakthrough's probably not going to win because I've got. I was just like, so annoyed. But yeah, so
could your ghouls charge around them? No, I suppose they're not going to be there.
No, they couldn't. To top things off, he gets 4 out of my 6 wraiths with all the shooting, which is just happens because he focus fire. Then gets another one through other shooting. I mean, I'm 3 up as well, so it's just weight of fire. That's got me down.
Well,
he also gets
the
Pathfinders go against, or this unit of Pathfinders.
I thought they must have been shooting the wraiths as well.
No, they had. I mean, it's just so much. So yeah, there's that, and this is after combat. I think he does kill my guy anyway.
Like your winged vampire's gone.
And moves up down like this, and they are
That's not good at all.
They're not going to die, and it's his turn. My turn next, to be fair.
I mean, you could have combat res 10, and it wouldn't matter.
I know. And this is what happens. We go straight onto his combat because there's not a lot of it. And that's what happens, which is just brutal. Mental. Yeah, but war dances with because they did the what's it called?
Extra attack thing?
No, they did the Aegis save first. Now they do they go to this point. Attack. Now they do the extra attack. They're pretty much going first, and just because my character isn't even doing anything now. And I mean, shooting carries on, and just
of course.
Just crazy. And this is kind of
what you then had to deal with.
What I then had to deal with. You can see that I've moved up as well, and then this is onto his turn. So yeah, it is actually one of my last pictures. So I've decorated it thusly with some other things. What happens is my ghasts with my character do go after the archers, and I do get them, and I do end up in his deployment zone. You can see there as well that I've got a few more of his wild huntsmen, but it doesn't matter at this point. Because of how quickly the war dancers go through my skeletons, my my ghouls have to turn to face, and just go into the war dancers. I do get the war dancers points, but there's a few characters in there as well who just over the course of times also get my ghouls, which is just brutal how much they actually can do. Everything else gets shot to bits, which I can't do much about. But my Wraith does come over this way and try and run away and get out. I think he gets away, but it's only half points, so it's only, say, 200 points, whatever. So it's pretty brutal. Both of his breakthrough units, have enough time and space to get over to my deployment zone because I have big center as well.
Of course, that's where it didn't help.
Yeah, so he wins the objective. He gets a lot of points, and I'm left with a 19-1 loss.
Oh, that's a sad one.
Which is
a real sad.
So annoying. Artem played it really well. He definitely his movement was really good.
To see that flank charge, though,
yeah, and I mean we'll go back to it. It all comes back to this picture, just here.
That's in the flank. Could he see that it was in the flank? He obviously could. He didn't measure it first and then say that's in the flank.
No, absolutely.
It was close. Matrix vision, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I think ignore my unhappiness about my battle. You have more right to be unhappy.
But it wasn't
not in a bad way.
Yeah,
it's completely fair.
I didn't get gamed, and as I say, it was. This is the sort of, I think as well, a testament to Artem really, because he had one mistake in this whole thing really, and he pounced on it, and it turned what was a pretty comfortable game. He'd get a few points, I'd get a few points, whatever, into a huge win for him out of the bag. So well played, Artem. I was obviously really frustrated at myself at just making such a silly mistake. And also as well, as you say, like even if he had come in and not been able to reform for whatever reason, my ghouls couldn't even charge past my unit. So I was really trying to funnel in my units without really thinking of consequences.
Yeah, you were sticking to the plan, you know?
I was sticking to the plan
if the plan didn't work, it was because you didn't stick to the plan.
Well, that's it, yeah. So
and you did stick to the plan, and then I just bypassed the plan.
Yeah. But what you also always need to have in your plans is don't give flank charges with your skeleton bolts to his war dancers with characters in, which is a fair plan as well. And
so if they go into the front, right? If the war dancers go into the front of your skeletons, he attacks before or after?
Magic dependent, because he does have magic to increase that. But I think he goes in at agility 6. I think. More with his characters. His characters go in more, but I can. So they could have a go at one of my characters, which they did and do, which is probably what they do. But static res as well. I mean, I've got, even if he kills one of my characters, I've got 11 attacks at paired weapons, offensive 7. He's defensive 4, I think, after everything. Maybe less, maybe 5 down to 3. But yeah, so I've got a decent chunk, and I just win the grind because at this point my ghasts, I think, could countercharge into his flank.
Sure. Yeah.
Possibly. It looks a bit close, but yeah. So, but worst case scenario is I stick around for a bit because I've got parry as well, so he's not got paired weapons. He just gets the extra attack.
Extra attack.
So it's not great for me, but with Hand of Glory up,
absolutely.
Which I got off. That changes things for me. That all my skellies get a 5-up save as well. So I think I win on combat res. He can do his forest thing, so he can be stubborn, but I think I grind him out, and then he's got nothing else really on this side to threaten me.
Stop him. Yeah.
So it's just a shame that I
that should be the tagline of this one. It's just a shame.
It's just a shame. I really feel like I did. It wasn't really Artem did very well, but it wasn't really a well fought battle on my part. It was just I gave a flank charge and bent over. Is what what happened. What it felt for me.
How did the rest of your team get on? Do you know in this round? I mean,
I think we got. I haven't got it up, but I think we got capped or close to being capped in this one, which didn't really help.
What, you think you lost? Did you?
I thought we did overall.
You didn't. No.
We won.
The team pulled through pretty well. Where's John Turner?
Yes.
13-7. Hugh beat Elliot 19-1, and Tanker beat Rob Jenkin 16-4.
Right, so I'm just the dud. Yeah,
just the dud there. So we were both duds in that round.
And I had agreed.
How about
as well.
We don't report on these two? Let's just not report round 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't we just go into round 3 and say we didn't take pictures of round 2, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I nearly didn't. I think there was only 10 pictures in this. Hence the annotations to draw it out a bit. But no, I mean, it was a good fun battle. Artem's a great guy as well. It was good to chat to him and talk about different things. He sort of suggested that perhaps I didn't need to go up with all three, and that my shooting
yeah.
magic could go after all these things on the right, which is it's
or
viable
heal
as well.
the vampire knights as they die.
Yeah. So yeah, there's probably other things I could have done, but I was just annoyed. I wanted to see this plan through and see how it got, and then it just crumbled.
Hit a speed block. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a shame. But that's the way it goes sometimes, and I'm just hoping not to recreate this. And it was a running joke throughout the rest of the tournament that just don't leave a flank.
Oh.
So yeah, it was funny,
There you go.
really. But yeah, good battle, good learning experience as well. And yeah, we move on quite swiftly.
Yeah. We both do, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for bearing through that one. It's never easy reporting on a battle that was a negative one anyway. But yeah, it's good stuff. Send your condolences to Lucky Sixes.
Yeah, please. I don't want to know what I could have done. I just want sorries and hugs and people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hugs and kisses for Lucky Sixes on this
please,
one.
yeah.
Definitely.
That's all I want from this.
Good stuff. Fair enough. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's move into round 3 where everything is going to get better. Maybe.
The only way is up, baby.
Yeah, too right. Well, you did get 1 point, so not.
I did. I was thankfully. I don't know how. I was. Oh, what was I give the flag? I was like, should we just? And I was like, no. You've got to fight for points. It's team tournament.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh well. Cool. Round 3 beckons. Let's head there swiftly.
See you later.